What's up, guys? Jason Guyman here with King of Pressure Wash and Christmas Lights. And tonight I'm going to talk, I sent it out to both because I am going to talk about how do we get more leads. I'm going to show you actually how to do it, where to do it, and I'm going to show you how you can get more leads, whether you're looking for it for pressure washing or your Christmas lights business. I know I love Christmas lights and we are getting into that season, but I also want to make sure that my pressure washing people also understand and how to grow their business. And so usually Sunday nights are always for pressure washing, unless I decide to give it more for Christmas lights too, or a subject that I can do both. And tonight is one of those subjects that we are going to do both, of talking about how we can get more business. And so this one here is going to be just basically of how to get more business. And because I'm going to actually show you some stuff so that way you can understand and how to use this and how to grow your pressure washing or Christmas light business. And so that is what I am going to do as we speak tonight. So I will give you some stuff of what you can do, what you don't want to do, how to do it. And so this is what we will be hitting on. And so that is what we are going to be talking about tonight. So with that, we'll get this ball rolling. This weekend was an amazing weekend. We had a permanent light class and Christmas lights. We had about 15, 16 people there. It was awesome. I got to see somebody that's kind of a Christmas light king, as the HOA Christmas light king. That's all he does is HOAs. He's out of California, been in business for 30 years. And I loved how he talked, Bob Matthews, of how he learned of mess around and find out, kind of, is how he learned how to grow his business. And so that is what we were talking about. So that's so it was a good time. It was awesome. And I got to, like I say, Bob Matthews, he does very well on all he does is HOAs. And so we had a very great class. I talked on marketing. We talked on all kinds of stuff. So that is what we are going to hit on tonight. So I'm actually going to give you information of what you can take and put into your business and make things happen, because I know the Huge was all this weekend. I'd like to know if you went to the Huge. I've heard some goods and I heard some bads. And so the Huge convention, I seen that the crowd wasn't as big as it was in the past. I didn't go this week. I actually had a class in Utah. I just didn't feel I wasn't feeling it this year, and I don't think a lot of other people were feeling it. So sometimes I feel like, I don't know, I think it's a great thing, but I also think that sometimes they may have to change things and change some speakers up or do something. I don't know. I know you had to pay $2,000 to be a guaranteed speaker, and I think at that point you're paying people to get so that they can sell their stuff from stage. And I personally don't like that so much. So that's my personal opinion, but that is my personal opinion on it. So if you went to the Huge, I would love to hear if you went to the Huge and what some of your all's thoughts was. Then I seen that they moved days. I'm like, how do you move days right beforehand? Somebody said they didn't know until the day of. I'm like, how do you go from Thursday, Friday to Friday, Saturday? I'm like, that had to be a disaster. So those are some things. But again, today I'm going to hit on Facebook and how you can use Facebook for free. And I'll give you how you can do it, what you can do, and how you can grow your business by doing Facebook. And so that is what we are going to talk about tonight. The book of the week, I have a book of the week here. My book of the week, I think this is one that I keep going back to this one just because it is a classic And as I've been hearing people in my group and in the Facebook groups or in the pressure washing groups, it doesn't matter which group you are in, about being cheap and, oh my God, there's so many competitors coming in this year. And I'm just going to be honest with you. That's nothing new. I've been hearing that for 14 years since I've started doing this stuff. You're always going to have competitors come in, and as many competitors that you have come in this year will probably go out of business that went out of business last year, because they didn't know how to price, they didn't know how to do different things. And some people are just like, Jason, you just don't understand how to price, you just don't understand, you in my area you can't get that. And a lot of it has to do with up here, and so that's why I'm hitting this book right here, Think and Grow Rich, because if you don't think you can get it, you're probably right. You won't get it. So that's why my favorite book is Think and Grow Rich. I 100% believe that. And the reason why I believe that is because if you don't think you can get high prices, then you're probably right. You're not going to get it because it's not going to happen. And I see it so many times, and it's just one of those things that I just don't get it sometimes. People will tell me, well, I know businesses doing millions and millions and millions of dollars, and they've been doing it for 20 years. And what I always tell those people too is you have Walmart for the cheap people, and there's only one Walmart, right? There's not a lot of people competing against Walmart for the cheapest of prices. And so if you want to be a Walmart, that's fine. There's only one of them. So if you already have one in your area, the likelihood of you getting thousands of customers paying you the $4 or $5 a foot, or the 10 cents a square foot for concrete and 10 cents a house wash, then just go be a Walmart. But the likelihood of you making it is about 0% to make it full time and not just have a job, right? We can have a job, but if you want a job, I promise you will make way more money working for someone else, actually having a job, than you will owning your own pressure washing or Christmas light business that isn't doing very well, that's not profitable, that you can't hire employees, that you can't pay workers' comp, that you can't pay health insurance for them, you can't have 401 for them, right? Because that's what a job is. And so if you want a job, then I would recommend that if you want to go cheap pricing, then keep going cheap pricing, but you've got a job, because then it comes back to the bus test. What happens if you get hit by a bus today? Your business, is it still going to run, or is it going to come to a screeching halt? That's the great question of what will your business do if something happened to you? Let's just say you fell off a roof. Let's just say you slipped and fall and broke your leg, and or whatever it might be. What would happen to your business at that point? And that's what that is my goal. My goal is not just to help people start pressure washing, make business, and make $100,000. Yes, that is my goal, but my goal is to help you start and grow a successful pressure washing business or a Christmas light business, whichever one you want. And so that is my goal, is to help you grow and to help you understand business, because a lot of people don't understand business. It's back to the book. I don't actually have that book in hand, but the book E-Myth, right? You can be the technician, and most people getting in this business are technician mindset. They don't understand about the manager mindset, and they don't understand about the ownership mindset, right? And so that's another great book that I would highly recommend you to read if you haven't read that book. So I went way on longer than I thought I would, but I just felt like that's some things that I wanted to get off my chest of helping you guys grow your business, helping you get to where you can do the things that you want to do and keep you growing. And, it's neat to see people at all different levels of business come to the training, and not just in a Christmas light business, or not just in a pressure washing business. Like, there was one business that did very well that does Christmas lights, and he went into permanent lighting. There was a business that does landscape and turf stuff, do $4 or $5 million a year, and they want to do permanent lights and Christmas lights. And so when you get to come to these trainings and you meet these people that are very successful in business, it's awesome to hear their testimonials and awesome to hear how they do for their employees, that they want the best. They got the best insurance. They got the best trucks for them. They pay $100 to $125 an hour is what the total compensation ends up being for each of their employees. And so that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about a one-man band that if you fall off the roof and your business is over and it's worth nothing. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about growing a real business. Yeah, can I help you get to $100,000? Sure. But you got to raise your prices, most of you. But that's my point of helping you get what you want. So with that, we got Cameron in the house. How are you doing? We got Green Smoke. What's up? We got Total. What's up? Mr. Wild Wild West. How are you doing, sir? I haven't seen you around in a little bit. It's awesome seeing you from Texas. What's up, Carolina Hydroblast? Hi, Jason. Very excited to listen to what you got. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Hello, everyone. Hope that everyone is having a great week. All the way from Newfoundland. That's a long way away from here. We got F-Bomb. What's up? How are you doing? We got Jamie in the building. How are you doing? Customers don't know you as a business. You have to put yourself in front of them to represent your business on and offer them services that explain that you can offer them. Shut up and listen. Most of the time they're going to tell you, Jason, they don't allow yard signs in my area in Los Angeles. Can you give me some tips on to go about that over here, like using a temporary number? Yep, you can do that. Do it through Google Voice. I am so glad I ran into you in this mindset. I've only done 7 jobs and my average ticket is $660. Awesome. I closed an $1,800 house wash and gutter, then closed a $4,000 paver cleaning and seal for $3,200, and the customer's buying supplies. Quality brings value back. I have the same exact stats. Let's get it. What's the book name? So the one is Think and Grow Rich, which is the one. And then the other book is E-Myth. The E-Myth Revisited, I believe is what it's called. The E-Myth Revisited. Those are the 2 books that I'm saying this week. I'm good, brother. Yo-Yo, what's up, Jason? How are you doing? Sterling Wash. Use Google Voice and have it linked to your phone. It will give you a number for free. And bandit signs. Clean it up. Can you talk a little bit about Google Voice? Yes, I can talk about Google Voice. I'm not a big fan of Google Voice, so here's the reason why I'm not a big fan of Google Voice before I get into this other stuff. The reason why I'm not a big fan of Google Voice is because a lot of times the phone numbers won't come through. And so that is why I am not a big fan of Google Voice. It is a free way to get phone numbers, and you can have them forwarded to wherever you want to go at. But the reason why I don't really like it, the biggest reason is
to get phone numbers.
Shut up, Jason, over here.
You can have them.
And so the biggest reason why I don't like them is because
Forwarded to wherever you want to go at.
he just won't shut up over here. So I don't like them because they won't follow through sometimes. So sometimes you will get a number, and the reason why I don't like them is because they won't dial through. Like you'll have a missed phone call or a voicemail and it never came through. And so that's why personally I don't like the Google Voice numbers. Google Voice also blocks your text if they contain a link. So that's another reason why probably I wouldn't like Google Voice. So usually I use the system that I use. That's the easiest to track numbers, and I can also I can track them. I can also shut them off, and they wouldn't know that who that number is associated with. So that's what I would do. So, so let's talk a little bit about Facebook and how we can use Facebook to get free leads. Now, I always say there's two ways of getting leads. One is you open your wallet and you pay. And two, if you have lots of time, you don't have to pay. And so I've got two people here that I know of that does very well with Facebook. And I'm going to talk about it both ways, whether if you use your personal page or your business page. And so that is how they get their business. So both of these do pretty well. They do multiple six figures. Probably, I know one does about 500 to 700, maybe even more. The other one probably going to hit 400,000 or 500,000 this year off of just using Facebook. And this is their main source of income. Probably their number one revenue driver is Facebook. And so I'm going to kind of show you some ins and outs and ways that you can do Facebook for your stuff. And so this will be some for pressure washing, and then I will show you some other things on Facebook for Christmas lights. So that way both people are going to get a little bit of both. You can do this on both, whether you're pressure wash, Christmas lights, whatever it might be. You will be able to use Facebook for growing your business. It doesn't matter what type of business that you're in, but this is a way that you can use Facebook. And so the very first thing is you have to be consistent with Facebook. Facebook is not something that you can just go in and post one time a week, a month, and think that that's going to be okay. You can't even really go in and post one time a day and think that that's going to get you business. And so this is definitely something that you have to have time for, and time to be able to put post up, time to be able to do different things. And that is the key with Facebook. You have to put the time into it, whether that is doing stories, doing reels, doing posts, doing picture posts, doing all of those things. And yes, you can do this with pressure washing and Christmas lights. They both work doing it this way. So the first one I have is P&P Exteriors. They are down in Florida, and they have grown mostly through using their Facebook page. And so one of the things is you can see that they have about 1.2 followers and 957 likes. And so that is two things that help them get this. If you only have one or two people on here, it's going to be hard to be able to grow using Facebook. It's not going to happen overnight. And so one of the things that you will see is they post, and they post a lot. Now, they don't post as much as they used to, because when I did class and they was in their heyday, they were posting 4, 5, 6, 7 times a day. Yes, you heard me right. 4, 5, 6, 7 times a day. And so they do all kinds of stuff. You can see that, and they're not just posting pressure washing, right? It is some, but it's not just pressure washing. And I think that is a big deal. And so you can see that they post about themselves, and they show pictures of themselves. They show pictures of their employees. And yes, they show pictures of it. But they don't just post about pressure washing over and over and over. And you can see that they're getting comments and they're getting likes. And this is all important for the algorithm for Google or for Facebook to help them move up in the algorithm. And so this is very important that you can see that they're doing reels, they're doing pictures, they're doing more pictures, they'll do lives, they got funny pictures. And so this is what it's all about. It's not just posting pressure washing over and over and over. It's kind of showing the behind the scenes, time to tell you can clean out gutters, telling me, so you can see that it is different ways of getting posts. And even that got 9 posts and 12 comments. And so the key is to get comments and reply to them and keep it going. So Facebook's going to show it more. And so this is another picture. It doesn't have nothing to do with pressure washing, right? There's no pressure washing, no nothing about it. And so this is a way that you can use Facebook to get business. And again, you can see by day 4, how many posts have we went through just to get to day 4. So look, we've posted quite a few times just to get me to day 4. And that's what I'm getting at. This is not something that you are doing one time. This is something that you have to do over, and you have to work this like a job. Because like I say, we're at day 4 and now we're just at day 5. And so now you can see how they do it. They also got some pictures of their employees up there. They also are harnessed in, which is what you should do when you are in a lift. And so they got the here. So I'm just showing you how much it takes to be able to get more business, right? Because when you want to use Facebook and you want to do it for free, and this is free, it just takes a lot of time that you have to give for Facebook to work. And again, it's not all about just it's not just about pressure washing, right? It's not like, look at this house I'm pressure washing. Like, we've scrolled through here and there's only a couple pictures of pressure washing and painting, right? This is not, this is one, this is not, this is one, but it is cool to see them on the lift. But it's not just all straight up pressure washing. And that is the key about what you have to do for when you're dealing with Facebook and using Facebook to do this. Again, this is not something that you're just going to be able to do overnight. It takes time and time to figure it out. And so it is one of those things that they did a live, they did all kinds of things to grow using Facebook. And this is just their business page. Their business page only. So sometimes people will ask me, should I use business page or should I use my personal page? And here's what I'll say of that. So in the past, I would have said that you wanted to use your personal page. But about a year or two ago, when Google or when Apple took away all their data from Facebook, that is when they started to use the Facebook business page. So the business page come through that way of using it. So they needed to find out more information about you, so they started pushing more of the business pages and not just the personal. So in the past, they used to really not push the business page, and they wanted you to pay for ads. And so when Apple slapped them and not gave them all your information, that's when they started to do it on their own and do it that way. So that's just a way to think about how you can do for pressure washing and Christmas lights. This works for Christmas lights too. So like if I go way back in here, they used Savannah used to post. I mean, she posts a bunch, right? It's not just pressure washing, right? Happy Monday, new week, new mindset, new opportunity to make a difference. And so it's just doing different things that help her grow their business through Facebook. So this is one of their main lead generators, is all through this right here of Facebook. So this is one of their main lead generators. This is what they do the most to do that. Now, the next one is a person that does Facebook that does very well for getting a lot of business for his business. And that is Bobby. And he might even be on here. I've got a couple. Rob Anderson is another one that does very well. And you will see that, again, he has 5.2 followers. He don't have 5 followers. He has 5.2 thousand followers. And he's got 1,800 following because you're only allowed to have 5,000 friends on Facebook. You can see that he's kind of made his page about his business, and you will see that he posts all of the time. Like all of the time. He just posted 20 minutes ago. He posted about an hour ago, 11 hours ago, 23 hours ago. You can see that he posts all of the time. He posts reels, he does lives, he does all kinds of stuff. And so that is what is being prolific, being consistent, and being relentless. So he posts a bunch of times. You can see I'm only at day 6 and he's posted 20 times already. Right? And so this is how you're able to do this. It's not one of those, I want to do Facebook, I want free leads. It's you actually got to go out there and do the work and make it happen. And so this is how he is able to use Facebook to grow his business. You can see that he's got all kinds of pictures and videos and 5-star reviews and, talking about family and picture of him and his wife. And right, it's just everything. Around this time, 2020, you couldn't find paperwork. Now we can't afford it. So you can see that he posts not just, he goes live, he does a lot. We're only August 15th, and you can see how many times he has posted. And this is how you have to use Facebook. This is not one of those things that, I want to do Facebook and I want free leads. Here's the deal. If you want leads, you got to do the work. It ain't going to come. I don't care what you do. You have to figure out one thing. And that's one thing that I agree with Hermosi. I watched Hermosi's latest live or his podcast, and he said, don't try to do 10 things. Go do one thing and do it awesome and get to $1 million on that one thing, and then you can try different things, right? Because if you say, I want to do Facebook, but then someone's like, why don't you do LinkedIn? Or, and that's the thing. He has become an expert at Facebook. Now he's starting to add LinkedIn. And guess what? He will become an expert at both, but he worked this for 2 to 3 years. Here's the thing about Bobby. There's nothing special about Bobby. Bobby was a forklift driver, driving a forklift before he became and started doing this here. And he's been very blessed on this pressure washing business and pressure washing journey. And so that is what I'm talking about of how you can do the thing. He was literally driving a forklift. And his wife said he couldn't quit his job until he paid off all his bills. And guess what? He made enough money with his pressure washing business that he was able to pay off all the bills. So now they're debt free. And so that's the key of how you're able to go out there and get it. Again, you got to have 5,000 friends, and you need to kind of be selective of who you're friending. Don't just friend every go be strategic when you're friending people. Go find the doctors, go find the lawyers, go find the people that are going to help you get more business. Now, I'm going to give you one more thing that I'm going to give you for that I know that he's not on here, but I'm going to show you one other thing that you can do is groups. And so groups, I know Bobby and a bunch of them do, but one of the guys that I'm thinking of is a little bit different. And so you can go into your groups and you can find business in here. Now, what you don't do is be like, hey, I'm a pressure washer, because that's probably not going to get you much business, and it's going to get you kicked out. And so that is the thing that you want to do. Now, you might want to try to find the neighborhood groups. So like one of the nice neighborhoods in my area is the Treetop group, right? And I'm in the Treetop group. Now, I have another guy that out of Jersey that he posts in about 50 to 60 Facebook groups a week. What he does is every day he picks 5, 6, 10, and goes puts them in those 10 in Facebook groups, and he has every day, and he puts the same post in all 50 of them or 100 of them every day, and he only does it once a week, and that's how he's gotten to over 6 figures, all off of free Facebook marketing. He goes here. Now, I'm going to give you a little super secret hack here of the Facebook groups. Most of these groups suck. They just suck. They aren't what you're doing. Now, what I will tell you in this, I'm going to jump back to what you should be doing in these Facebook groups. Physical therapy recommendation. Anyone offers physical therapy? And you go in here and say, hey, you know what? My daughter has been to Beacon Orthopedics, and they did an amazing job, and and I'm going to help and answer people's questions in here. I'm not just going to be like, I'm a pressure washer, right? And so, did I miss something? When did Thornwell install a racetrack? And then you can have fun with it. Really, that sounds awesome. Where is it, right? Or you can be like, I know them young son of a guns, right? And so I can start, and people are going to know who my name is because they're going to see me comment on their stuff. And when you find people that are like in these groups, that you usually will find someone that's like everybody knows that group or that person, or they listen. So that's the person that I might want to go see. So this is something that you can do through Facebook groups and how you can use Facebook groups. Now, where the money secret sauce is in the mom groups. The mom groups are where you want to be at. And again, you don't want to be like, hey, I'm a pressure washer and blah, 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 right? That's not what you want to do. You want to, if it's your wife, you can be like, hey, you know what? Christmas lights Cincinnati, man, and show a picture of your house. Man, they did an amazing job at putting Christmas lights on my house. I highly recommend that company. They have great customer service. They have awesome, right? And you do that maybe once a week, once every other week, and them are ways that you can do it. Your mom groups are your money groups. The other thing you can do too is if you can't get into these groups, find out who are the admins, right? And then maybe you go, this is something that you might give away for free when you know. So like this one here has 11,000. Anderson Township is a very high-end place. And so I will click on it, and I want to see who are the admins. And so sometimes you'll have to do some looking, but you'll be able to find the admins. So right here are the admins. Kate and Gabby are the admins. Jillian and 8 other are moderators. So I'm going to go up here and find, look, here's Gabby. And so is this Katie? And here's Kate. So now I can message them and say, hey, I will light your house for free if you will put that I did it so many times in the group, and you will support my group, or I will give a free one away in your group if you will allow me to post whatever, right? And so that is how you can use this for Facebook to be able to find out who the admins are and go in there. And like I say, Anderson Township, this is a money group. This is where everybody's got to keep up with the Joneses, and this is definitely a group that I would want to be in, that I would be trying to, or my wife or my secretary, that's a female secretary, hey, these are the groups that you want to go into, and these are the groups that you will help us grow our business. So this is how you get leads for free. It doesn't matter if I'm talking about pressure washing, Christmas lights, landscaping. It doesn't matter what I'm talking about. This is how you get leads for free, and this is how you can grow your business. Again, you do not go into these groups and be like, I'm a pressure washer. And here's another tip for the groups. You can make your own group. Maybe make your own mom's group, or make your whatever own group. And if you can get it to grow, and you find 4 or 5, 10 business owners that you all come together and promote it, and when someone says, hey, who's a pressure washer, those 10 other people are like, man, Jason is the best pressure washer. And when they say, who's the best plumber? I'll say, Bob is the best plumber. And you can work it together as a group of this. And then when you own your own group, it's even better, right? And so those are things that you can do to help you get leads. Now, does this take time? Absolutely, it takes time. But is it worth it? Well, it's like anything. You got to take time to make it, right? You either got to spend the time or you got to spend money. And so that's what I'm going to say about that. And this is something that you can use AI for to help you post if you're not very good at posting, if you're not good at writing. I know there's haters out there on it, but if you suck at it, it's better than anything. And I will tell you that Bobby Duncan uses AI. So don't tell me you can't make money. And he's making close to probably going to hit $500,000 or real close to it. And so, and he uses AI on his Facebook post that he uses to it. So don't tell me you can't give me excuses of why you can't come up with posts, or you don't know what to write about, or you're not a good writer. Well, guess what? You can do Facebook Lives, you can do pictures, you can do reels, you can do all kinds of things that will help you in your business. So get rid of the excuses and make things happen. I know I got haters on here that I can't believe these YouTube gurus use AI and stuff. You know what? God gave me a tool that I can use, and I'm going to use it. So I've never said I was good at writing, and that's something that I've always struggled with. And so I'm not good at it right now, but I've gotten real good at it because I've learned how to use AI to make it sound more like me and more like me. And guess what? That's what it's all about. And so the reason why I'm hitting on that is because a lot of people have excuses of why they can't do something. And so excuses don't do anybody any good. You will never grow a business with an excuse, because the guy that hits on me hard about AI stuff, he had a business and that never grew, and now he works for someone, right? And so when you look at that and you see that, guess what? Don't worry about what other people do. You know, that's the other thing about competition. You cannot worry about your competition. Go see what they do bad at and excel at that. Don't do it better, but go find out. You know, if you're going to go look at your competition, go look at their 1-star reviews, or go look at things that you can do to do better, right? Do they follow up? Do they do the marketing? Do they have 5-star reviews? Do they have all of those things? And that's how you can be better than they are all day long. All right, so if you got any questions on pressure washing Christmas lights, hit them up here. Our average Christmas light customer acquisition last year was 231, and with our average sale of $1,100 for residential, priced at $8 to $10 a foot. Just ramped up the marketing to eventually hit 7 figures. It's awesome. Yeah, because $231 sounds high, but what's the lifetime value of that customer? That's what you got to think about a lot of times. If you could do one thing tomorrow to gain more customers and only could do one thing, what would it be? Yard signs. Yard signs I know work no matter where. I know they just work. That's, if you put out enough yard signs. I've got a guy that's made almost $400,000 off of yard signs. That's all he does is yard signs, and he has doubled his business through yard signs. Do you request a deposit for commercial installs? Some people do. I know the guy that I was talking about earlier, the HOA, he says he does. So some people do, some people don't. Google Voice also blocks text. Talking about talking value that brings to the customer from your services that is offered, and not about your equipment. Customers don't care about your equipment. They want value, quality. Then it's up to you to close. Yeah, it's not about your equipment. It's not about how you hang lights. It's not about any of that stuff. It's not about the lights. It's about selling the magic, and it's about it's about making their life easy, right? It's about selling them time. All you're doing is selling people time. Because anybody can pressure wash, anybody can put up Christmas lights, but do they have the time to do it? They don't have the time at all. Talk different methods on gutter cleaning, inside, not brightening. Yeah. Hand scoop, blow them out, pressure wash them out, pick one. They all suck. I hate gutter cleaning. Facebook business page and free marketplace. My experience, fastest way to get jobs immediately is to offer free work on Facebook groups if you can convert the attention. And I would not do free work other than if I could do it in the mom's pages on the admins. That's the only time I'm going to give free work away. And here's the thing, I'm not even going to do that for free because I am going to take lots of photos and I'm going to take lots of video. And guess what? That is going to be my marketing pieces for my customers, right? Because that's where we get in trouble is we'll do free work and then we didn't get the review. We didn't get no pictures. We didn't get no video. And I'm going to be there all day on that house because I want to get, I might even hire a videographer, hire a picture, someone take pictures. So that way I've got professional pictures and I'm going to have my nice polo on. I'm not going to have crappy crap clothes on. So those are some things that I would be doing as I did that. I've had a lot of jobs here recently that doesn't want me to post in respect of their privacy. So that sucks. What phone system do you use? My system, it uses Twilio, which all systems use Twilio. If I post it more than once a day, they would throw me out of the groups. And that's why you can't, and when I'm talking about posting several times, I'm not talking about posting in the groups. And if you are posting in the groups, it is you're commenting on other people's stuff. That's what you're doing. You're not going to post 8-9 times in groups, because you will get kicked out. Yep, on your own page. I'm Facebook roughly 30 hours a week, promoting my business or searching through the ones that ask for services and market on Facebook. Bobby Duncan, I know that guy. Shoot, after a year, I finally reached 100 plus on Facebook business page. It is a little bit harder to get it on business page. I have 1.3 followers and I still a nobody. S3 Pro. So what virtual phone system do you recommend? Again, I use it through what the system I have. I need to get the affiliate link for the other place. I know that guy. See, he's on two different. He's on YouTube on his one profile and the other one here. I had thoughts about Google Voice issues on the phone service, and then I bought my number out from them and added it to another cell line. 100% better at no losing customers. Yeah, that's the problem with Google Voice is you will lose customers because it will drop calls. It does some stupid stuff. I really wouldn't recommend a Google Voice number. The groups get spammed. They seem to be burned out. And that's why the mom groups are the secret sauce. I've been doing $500,000 a year for 6 years. Awesome. Fix leaky buckets with your clients is number one. Man, I would hate to see what you would say or share about my Facebook page or website. Have to retain all your clients. Coming off of a 6-figure season at 20 years old, looking into jumping into Christmas lights, is it too late? And the answer is no. It is not too late to start Christmas lights. I would say that majority of the people that you are going to get for Christmas lights are going to come in November, late October and early November, and even middle of November. That is when your new guys are going to get the most off of Christmas lights. So if you want to go check out christmaslights.io, I have all kinds of stuff over there. I have a blog. I have all kinds of stuff over here. And I have a YouTube channel that goes over it. If you want to join the membership, I have that. So you get a website. If you want to come to in-person training, I have all of that out there. When should I send out these nice direct mailers? Are you talking for Christmas lights or pressure washing? If you're talking pressure washing, I would say now. I would start sending in, I would probably send one now, and then September, and then October. If you're talking Christmas lights, I would send one in September, one in October, one November 1st and one November about the 20th. Whatever the weekend is before Thanksgiving is when I would send it again. I would hammer hard on it. What's up, Gabe? How are you doing? 90%. Most of the pressure washer groups are a joke. New guys telling other new guys how to get 100 different answers, and a couple in every group is no less than a business in gear. I would about agree with that. At a recent conference where they said there are two types of businesses in 10 years. Those that use AI and those that are out of business. What conference was that one? I would about agree with that. I would about agree with that. I'm disabled with health issues is my excuse why I don't have to work all the time and to clear $1,000. How many yard signs? I mean, a lot. If that's my only method, I'd be putting out 50 a week is what I'd be doing, 200 a month. My yard signs keep getting stolen. Good. Keep putting them out. That's what I mean, I put mine out on Friday, and by Monday they're gone because the city picks them up a lot of times. And guess what? The next Monday, I put them out again. What's the best AI service you recommend? Depends on what you're dealing with. I like Claude, Perplexity. Meta AI is a really good one. Chat GPT. If you're doing writing, I would probably do Claude. CLAUDE. Does anyone know how strict the richer parts of Metro Atlanta is on yard sign? I can barely see them out there, and I drive around everywhere all the time. I know that Wise Guys, they get 3,000 yard signs at a time and put them up. Been getting pretty slow lately. What's the best thing to do to keep customers in the slow season for the first year? Keep knocking doors, keep flipping rocks. It's slow for everybody is what I'll tell you on that. I mean, unless you've done commercial work or got a lot of commercial work for right now, everywhere is slow. Everybody is slow this time of year. And it's not nothing new. It's not nothing like it's some magical thing. It's been going on for 15 years since I've been in the business. It's called summertime, and it's called people go on vacation and they're gone and they don't have no money. When you try to join mom groups, some won't allow business pages. Yeah, you're not getting in there with business pages. You're going to have to get in there on your personal page. Yep. How do you advertise without posting? You'd be like, man, look how awesome this house. They washed my house, and they did a great job. That's how you do it. Christmas lights. I'm doing well. Sold my first commercial permanent light job. Well, that's awesome. Awesome blossom. I've connected to a few fellow pressure washers in my area and offer them help or on working together to bring a better understanding and a relationship with business than to bash each other. And I had a post about, it made me, I put a post in the Christmas light group of did you call your competitors? And I meant as in when you first started out, did you call your competitors to find price? And I did 15 years ago, right? I would lie and say I didn't. I did 15 years ago. And here's the deal. I called 10 people, and even 15 years ago, guess how many people answered their phone? Like 3. So I would bet now if I called my competitors, very few are going to answer their phone. So that is something that you can work together. And a lot of times people are like, oh, I would rather work together with my competitors and even my pricing so that they're at the same pricing. The last thing I want to do is pressure washing Christmas lights. Doesn't matter. If I'm at $350 minimum, I don't want him out there doing it for $150. Yeah, there's going to be jobs he's going to get, but he's going to go out of business anyway, and he's not going to make it. But if I can get him up to $300, $400, $500 and making money, guess what? When I get somebody, like right now, if I had a big commercial job and they're like, man, I need 3 quotes, I'd be like, awesome. I'm going to be like, hey, Benjamin, I just bid this job at this. What, and they need 2 more quotes. I'm going to send him that way because then I can work together and we can work together. Now, if he goes and cutthroats me, then I'm going to go knock him in the face and tell him quit cutthroating, right? Now, if he has a reason that he can do it quicker or whatever, then that's a different deal. But even then, you better be working it back and forth. And that's the whole point of this. I used to get a lot of commercial work from one local guy. He would give me all his commercial work. And I'm like, what can I pay you? And he's like, you can't pay me nothing, because I taught him how to do pressure washing. And so I helped him make $500,000 a year. And so he did $500,000 and would send me all of his commercial work. He didn't want to do commercial work. He only wanted to do residential. And so we worked that out together. And so he kept sending me a bunch of work of the commercial work. And so that's how you can work together versus trying to work against each other, because working against each other does nobody any good at all. Recommendations in word of mouth groups has been huge this year. Refer your friends when they see people looking for other services and then looking for pressure washing. It just works. And you're right, Christopher. I agree 100%. What were your top lead generators methods that you had when you ran your trucks? My top was Google Ads. I was able to kill it with Google Ads. I scaled everything on Google Ads. We spent that last year. I think I spent like $50,000 in Google Ads. So that got me to $1 million. But Google Ads was the number one lead gen source. I still did yard signs. I still did Facebook. I still did all of those other things. My SEO, my Google local business, I had the most 5-star reviews back then. That did good, and Google Ads. Those were the 2 things that made me the most money. It's been a year. Can you do a live phone pitch when they call for Christmas sites, telling them their minimum and telling them about little Johnny's face? I'm probably not going to do that tonight, but I will do one of my Wednesday nights. I will hit on that. Working together helps bring our cost and value back up versus cutting each other out of business. This also helps them learn techniques, setups, chemicals, prices, and each other makes the team work. And that's the other thing. If you do get a big job, you can say, hey, I need help. And then you can go in it together. And now you can hit big jobs that normally you wouldn't have hit. So that's the other thing about it. Little Johnny's face is like Will Ferrell line on Wedding Crashers. Yep, you're right. In-person quotes versus electronic quotes. I did all online quotes. Unless it was a $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 job, commercial job that I needed to go see. But most of all my quotes were online. Now, here's the thing. My service area is big. And I mean, I'm 45 minutes to the north. I'm an hour from where my honey hole is, right? Depending on traffic, it's anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour and a half. And so that's where my honey hole was. Mason, Montgomery, Indian Hill, Loveland, Madeira, Westchester, all up in that north side of Cincinnati. That's where all my business was. And so there was no way that I could go do in-person quotes. And so what I learned is you either get enough leads that I can it would get me enough money to keep me going. So that's how I did my leads. Remember those pack of gums that shocked you when you grabbed a piece? Thinking of doing something like that with yard signs. And here's the other thing. You want to know another trick about yard signs that will probably piss your competitors off? Did you know if you place your yard sign right next to theirs, you both will do better? Because when they take a picture, now they got 2 yard signs. Now, you better be the one that answers the phone, because if they call the other one and you don't answer the phone, guess what? Then you're not going to get it. And I would do it I put my sign on the right or left and see which one works better. What are the most effective marketing tactics? I would say yard signs, and I know a lot of people hate me for this, but yard signs is, I can do that no matter what, almost no matter what, I can get business with yard signs. So yard signs, your Google business profile is super important. Getting leads, making sure you have 100 pictures on it, you're doing posts on it every day, you're working that like no other. That will get you a lot of business. That still gets. I still have access to it, so I still see it. It still gets them business 5 years ago, and it hasn't been touched in 5 years, and they still get 20 calls a month, 30 calls a month off of what I did 5+ years ago. So that's how important that is. So you have that. Then I would probably start looking at some of the LinkedIn is another thing I would do. LinkedIn's a great one. And then I would probably, hopefully, Google local service ads is a great one for pressure washing. That's an amazing one for pressure washing. And then I would probably go with Facebook ads, or I've never really had a lot of luck with Facebook ads. I would probably go with more like Google ads. Anyone hating on you is just jealous. You've changed hundreds of lives. I don't see anyone else giving as much value as you do. Don't even close. Not even close. You give all this away for free to help people. When rinsing, there will be hard water spots on windows. If so, how do you deal with it and prevent it? Make sure that the soap doesn't dry on it. If your windows are drying with the soap on it, it's going to leave the soap on it. Make sure you rinse them real well, and then that's where you charge for exterior window cleaning. Be like, these windows will be clean, but if you want them spotless, you need to do exterior window cleaning, especially if you have hard water. If you have hard water, there's probably not a whole lot you're going to do to keep the hard water spots off. You're going to have to do the exterior window cleaning with a DI tank is what we did. Does having a location on Google Maps help with showing up on Google from SEO? It does help better, but it has to be a commercial location. Otherwise, Google probably will shut it down otherwise. Hard water spots will vary in different areas, and service set up your equipment. Big time. What's up, Mr. George Yost? How are you doing tonight? Well, when you quote a price and a customer says no, what do you say next? Well, why did they say no? Right? That's the question. You didn't sell them what the no was. And then I'm still going to follow up with them. I'm still going to keep following up with them and not give up on it just because they tell me no. But the biggest question is then you didn't give a good enough, you didn't find out the reason, right? Everybody's going to have a couple reasons why they're going to tell you no. And it's not always on price, right? They might not like the way you look. They might not like whatever. You didn't find out the reason why they were calling you. Are they calling you because their wife ain't going to give them none if they don't get it done? And if you don't figure that out, guess what? I can sell any man out there a whole lot with, hey, you know what? You're happy. Your wife will be so happy with this, right? If I find out that his wife's been nagging at him, because if the man's calling, the wife's probably nagging at him, and it's not about the equipment. It's not about selling that crap. It's finding out especially if you're doing in-person quote, it's finding out what's going on and building that relationship. Are they what type of personality are they? What type of love languages there are? Sales is hitting on all of that stuff. If you're doing in-person quote, you better be able to tell me what their love language is. You better tell me what their disc profile is. And if you don't know what any of that stuff is, you need to start learning it. So that way, when you know that this is a type S personality, you know that they like to talk. And it's not about task, it's about personal building. And 70% of people are type S personality, and we know that they're not going to close right away. They need time to think about it. We know that because that's the type of personality. And so when I know that, now I can help and steer them in the way that I want them to go and be able to get it done. You have to set your customer's expectation for window cleaning. For hard water spots, try EBC Glide in your SH and upsell it. Yep, that can help you out too. Thank you, F-Bomb and Jason. How do you get commercial Google Maps location when you are just renting a place and don't have a commercial building? Well, if you're renting a place, you've got to rent it at a commercial place or like rent an office space. Some different things you can do to do it. Upsell water fed pole, cleaning windows. I offer this on every job. Yep, I do too. And you can charge 10, 11 cents per square foot. We used to charge 200 and go up from there. So there's all different kinds of ways that you can charge for that. So I know I've talked a lot about Facebook, but if you need to, go check out King of Pressure Wash. If you need a website, you need training, we got in-person training. Also for Christmas lights, christmaslights.io. If you need lights, we got some awesome stuff coming out this year with the lights. Training in there. I have a blog. I have tons of resources on this website. Tons and tons of resources. Like if you don't want to join the membership, I've got enough resources on this website that you could probably start your business off of just watching, checking out the blogs, going my YouTube channel, and I'm going to be posting a lot more on YouTube, so you'll be able to see everything of how to grow a business, because my goal is to make you successful. I know if you're successful at growing your business, you'll buy lights, you'll need other things, you'll want training. And that's the thing. I know I push my in-person training, but I'm serious. When I have an in-person training and I have people like the guys from Texas that have a couple $1 million business, and the guy from California, and when you see different people like that and you get to sit next to them and find out how cool they are and learning from them, it's the best thing ever. Like, I've met some of the biggest Christmas light installers in the country by going out to Dustin's out lights and wholesale when we did out there in Utah. And so people are like, man, it cost me a fortune to go to Utah. Really? Well, what if you could sit by one of the top 2 to 3 people in the country that hang lights, and he talks to people? It's amazing how that works, right? And you can learn. Or you go find, the dude that does HOA King, and you can sit down at dinner and talk to him, and he's just talking back and forth. And what was crazy, he's like, I watch all your videos. I watch you all the time. I'm like, you do? I'm like, that's crazy. He's like, I learn all the time. He's like, and you know what? You know how I learn? Because I screw up everything. I've done everything wrong. I was like, well, guess you know how I teach? Because I've done everything wrong myself. And that's how I teach, because I've done all the stupid stuff. So that's why I just want to help you all grow your business and get you to where you can have time freedom, financial freedom, and a business that will run without you if you get hit by a bus. So with that, Jason can come to North Carolina and do a class down here. Is that what you said? I don't know. Come North Carolina, do a class here, and then they can see F-Bomb tiny little truck setup. That's right. So with that, I hope you all have an amazing week this week. Go out there, start flipping rocks, taking action, making things happen, and grow your business and have success. Hope you all have an awesome week, and we'll talk at you all later.